This morning, we are introducing you to the man behind some of entertainment's biggest stars, and we are not talking about the two-legged kind. So what are we talking about? Bill Berloni. He's been training dogs for television, movies, and theaters for nearly 50 years. The best part, all of the dogs are rescues. We like that. Nancy Chen shows us how Berloni takes them from the shelter to the stage and what he says his work has taught him.
Good job.
On Bill Berloni's Connecticut farm, there are plenty of tails.
These are the original method actors because you're on stage and they're in the moment.
They are the character.
They are the character.
Who wants cookies? Come on.
These pups, all 26 of them, are esteemed masters of their craft.
And we start off in patterns. Jane, sit.
With Berloni as their teacher.
You've been training animals for how long now?
I started in 1976, so I believe it's 47 years.
47 years. How many dogs do you think you've trained during that time?
I've tried not to count but it's somewhere between 200 and 300.
Do you remember them all?
I do. There's this saying, when you go to heaven, your dog is waiting for you, and I just imagine going to heaven and a stampede of dogs come running towards me.
Come on, go.
Had a light blue room.
From the stage,
I am such a divorced dad.
to the screen, Berloni is responsible for some of the most famous dogs in entertainment.
Come on.
Like Bodie, who starred as Nana in the television special Peter Pan Live.
No, even more hair on my trousers.
And Myrtle, who recently wrapped filming her 3rd season playing Charlotte York's dog in And Just Like That.
This might just be a moment that he's in.
At one point, he has to jump into his bag. White shoes after Labor Day.
Then there's Ricky, who is Bruiser in the Broadway production of Legally Blonde.
She doesn't have an engagement outfit.
His work celebrated with a Tony Award for excellence in theater, the only time an animal trainer has been honored. But he fell into this work by chance.
It's okay, I know.
After taking a job in local theater as a teen.
I wanted to be an actor. I started working backstage, and they decided to do a new musical that had a dog in it. Couldn't afford a dog trainer, so the producer needed someone he could trick into training the dog.
That someone turned out to be Berloni, who was promised a part if he found and trained a dog.
Someone told me they had cheap dogs at the animal shelter, and I went looking one day, and I found this little dog who was going to be put to sleep the next day, adopted him, and that was the original production of Annie, and that was the original Sandy.
Wow. And that's what started it all.
That's what started it all.
He became the first to place a dog on a Broadway stage in a major role, going on to train dozens more, committed to rescuing all of them.
Why work with rescue animals?
And my answer is why not? And as a result, 200 to 300 animals might have lived wonderful lives who might not have been alive.
You've saved their lives. And they've changed yours in the meantime, too.
Oh, yes. Sit.
Hey.
Good job.
Working with shelters nationwide to find the right canine candidates, Berloni and his team of 7 trainers get them ready for live theater, where anything can happen.
Pretty, nana. Ha ha ha!
It's my second home.
And the dogs end up working alongside the best in the biz, including 6-time Tony winner Audra McDonald.
If you could just hold Chowsy for me.
Berloni's dog Tana June is Chowsy in the Broadway production of Gypsy.
Just about an hour before showtime, what is the routine like for these guys?
Well, we get them in, get off their coats, and let them decompress a little bit.
All right, sweetie.
Before showtime, McDonald stopped by the dressing room for Tana June and her understudy Indy.
Very good, Joe. Yes, thank you.
They were rescued just 4 months out from the first show.
To go from an Indiana animal shelter to playing this big role on Broadway, that's something.
It is something, and showing people that you could have adopted this dog before Bill did, and you would have had that dog.
After all the performances and accolades, when it's time to retire, the dogs head back home with Berloni for good.
Why was it important for you to make sure that they were cared for even after they were done performing?
The thought of adopting a dog, exploiting it for money, and then getting rid of it just didn't make any sense to me.
And even on the most difficult days, Berloni says he loves what he does and has no plans to take a bow anytime soon.
When you look back at your career and all the animals that you've interacted with, what do you think?
I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world. So I just feel lucky that I've been able to do it. And I just feel a lot of gratitude.
And those dogs are lucky too. By the way, Bill is also a behaviorist with the New York Humane Society and helps those dogs get into forever homes as well.
I love the notion of devoting your life's mission, making your life's mission, taking care of these dogs who have been rescued and often have been abandoned or mistreated before they find themselves in this incredible, I guess, profession, because they have understudies.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I never thought of the dog having an understudy.
Got to be prepared for anything.
You can tell how much he loves the dogs and how much the dogs love him.
Yes.
I'm curious about their food bill, because there's so many different dogs. And dogs have also, dogs have special dietary needs too.
It's something that they are very aware of. They go through 50 to 60 pounds of food each week.
Wow.
So it's a lot of food.
I know you love dogs, Nancy, so you must have been in heaven too.
I was. My dog knew that I cheated on him.
Oh no, Nancy, I'm not a dog lover, but you're converting me.
Good. Come on over. Join the team.
Come on over. The water's fine.
Thank you, Nancy. That was awesome as always.